Welcome back. It's a new year, and I wish you guys all the best. And may it be a prosperous year, full of hope and love, and a lot of machining, hopefully. Now, my first order of business will be making some of these guys here, my V-blocks. Now, as you can see, I drill into these things that they're sacrificial. It's more a consumable than a tool for me. That's why I make them out of aluminium. So if I mar them up and drill into them, doesn't matter, just melt them down and start over. Now I'm going to show you a quick way of doing these V-blocks without needing to have measuring tools or other funny stuff to get them the angles correct. Should be a basic setup. So what I'm going to do is I've cast a block of aluminium, so I'm just going to clean up the faces and then chuck it up in a rotary table. Okay, this is my setup. Now I've got it around stock supported in the chuck here. Now it's not perfectly squared up or anything. I just used the jaw positions just to more or less get it in center. Now the whole idea behind this is to make it as easy and hassle-free as possible. So the only thing that's important here is to make sure that before you start that you've got your rotary table set on 0 and that you center fine using the chuck and not your stock, because this chuck will always be concentric to the rotary table. because it's registered in the back. So whether the stock is a little bit wobbly doesn't really matter. Now what I've calculated is that I need to remove 10 millimeters from the stock in order to clear it up, but because there's room for error with regards to concentricity, I'm gonna go for 11 millimeters per side. Now if you've watched my previous video where I've restored a tap wrench, then you would know that I've received a couple of end molds from JLCMC, and I've been dying to try out this roughing end mold. This is specifically for aluminium. It's coated and polished, so I'm very curious as to how this thing will perform. We'll leave a link in the description if you're interested in the end molds, and then have a look at the website. Alright, let's get cracking. The end mold is really cutting like going through this aluminium like butter. I'm very impressed. So what I'm going to do now is turn the stock 90 degrees, clean up the neck face. Now I'm running the end mold at, let me just get you back on here. I'm running this end mold at 2140 RPM, and I was taking a 5 millimeter depth of cut on the first run and 4 millimeter on the second run, but I'm gonna run it now at the full 9 millimeters and see what happens. Okay, the block is all done. And it's very prismatic. If you look at it, you won't see it on the camera, but on the naked eye, you can see a rainbow of colors. And I think it throws the eye off quite a bit. I've got a little bit of a hole here, but that doesn't matter. I haven't chopped it up into smaller pieces like my others, because this will be like a piece of stock. If I need say for argument's sake, I need a 5mm V block, then I can just chop off a 5mm piece and keep the rest, and I'll cut off pieces as I need them, because I find that I use quite a whole range of different thicknesses of the V blocks depending on my needs. As you can see on a rotary table, it's one setup. You can do a whole lot of things on just the rotary table alone. Only time I've used the lathe was for ends, and that's it. Everything else was done on a rotary table. Now, I must say I'm very impressed with the what's his name, that roughing end mill. It was going through this aluminium like butter, and the vibration that you've heard was basically a drawbar that came loose, and I didn't even realize that until this what's his name dropped out. Anyway, now what I like about the rotary table setup is it's easy to find the center of your V. What I did was to touch off on the top of the end mill and touch off on the side with the end mill, and then you move up and move away from the ends in equal amounts, and then you land up in the center of your V block. And using the rotary table, there's no guesswork. You don't have to worry about getting your back jaw, everything lined up properly with parallels and all kinds of nonsense. Once you've got it in the rotary table, if you turn it 90 degrees, your cut is going to be 90 degrees, and your block will be absolutely square. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's insightful for first project for the year, even though it's a bit of a Swiss cheese block. I don't mind it because it's sacrificial anyway. Until next time, enjoy. Cheers.